Hello and welcome. My name is Roy Fensom and I am running the Adelaide Psychic Fair. This is number 13 in our updates. We've just finished a fair last month and the next one is October the 17th and 18th. We'll just change the numbers here so that we can make sure that everybody knows what show we're on. There we go. Thank you very much for your time and your energy. Should you be watching this in the replay. Today I wanted to go over just the initial parts of getting started and getting in and what we're going through. And then I want to cover some of the people that are regulars at our fair. And then hello, Nolene, glad to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining us. You're very young, I can tell that much by the picture. We will be looking at the people who are regulars on the fair, and we have a list of up and coming new people. So I want to try and cover some of the work that these people are doing and where they're coming from, so that if you're planning on coming to the Adelaide Psychic Fair, that you will have some idea of who to connect with and what they will be doing. The where and when is, I don't know whether we can do that. The where and when is October the 17th and October the 18th at 2:30 Flinders Street in the city. It's a parking garage, so it's not much to look at from the outside, but we have a good time on the inside. Now, as to the COVID info, we have a sign in when you're coming in, so that we're keeping a record of that. It's kept for about 2 weeks. Oh, let's have a look. That's your wee granddaughter. Oh, lovely. She looks gorgeous too. And we can all do with a little bit of light like that in our lives. The COVID issues that we have are, as we all know, spacing mostly. So we try to leave enough room between the stalls for people to wander in, have a wander around without tripping over each other. So please come along to the fairs and make yourself known. And if there's not enough room, well, I'll have to kick you around a bit, because I've had to become a COVID marshal in order to maintain putting on these particular fairs. And as we know, the police or the health department can drop in anytime and make themselves known, and we have to show that we've got a plan and we're doing all the right things, like having the hand wash and so forth at the front and getting people to sign in. So we do ask you to come along and sign in. Most people are very good about it. They just sign in and we don't have to, make a big scene about it. But it is an ongoing requirement of doing markets and fairs. Now, some fairs at the moment are not doing this, and that's their prerogative. We believe that if you come along, it's just a precaution. You put your name on the sheet, you put a contact number, and then should anybody show up with some sort of cough, cold or whatever, we have some way of contacting you. And should that turn out to be a negative, after 14 days we destroy the paperwork and it goes nowhere. So there's no history or no record kept of people that have been there 6 months ago or stuff like that. So we try to be as COVID aware. Heavens, my apologies, Nolene, I didn't notice. From Northern Ireland. Well, it's a beautiful area over there, and I'm just having a look here. COVID is gravy. Yes, it would put your head away. We're lucky here in that in South Australia we have not had a large number of COVID cases, and a lot of our COVID cases that we do have come from overseas, who are people who are returning home from overseas and have brought the virus with them. We're now opening up our states, New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland. The borders are now beginning to open and we're allowing people to come across, which is great for us at the moment because the school holidays will be starting soon and people will be certainly bored to death with staying home. And if it's anything like the first market that we did about 3 months ago, it will be a run-out success because everybody was just so eager to find somewhere that they could put themselves, spend a bit of money, enjoy just being out for the day. I know you probably can't make it, Nolene, but should anybody be watching this and you're coming along, we do have food that is there. We have a young lad who's coming down he says he's got the best homemade sausage rolls and vanilla slices that you could ask for. So come along and sample some of his wares. Now, some of the people that we have as a regular is Beatty Kunz. Now, Beatty does oils and diffusers and has a wonderful range. And as well as this, to assist in your information, you can have reflexology with Beatty. And if she happens to find an area where you're sensitive, then she will try to assist you by putting you onto oils or unguents that will fit those areas in the way of pain relief or stress relief. It could be a selective part of the body. It may well be a muscle complaint or an intestinal complaint or something along those lines. And you are more than welcome to buy from Beatty. She doesn't force you into it, but believe me, the products she has are well worth the time and effort to take notice of. Then, of course, there's myself who does Moon and Mars. We have incense backflows. We have singing bowls and tarot and oracle cards. And we will be bringing those along. The last market that we did last week at the Golden Grove, the Crystal Pyramid, turned out to be a very good fair. Was very good. A lot of the stalls came away very happy with the day. They say that there was over 400 people went through, and that's always brilliant if you can have any sort of fair where you can get 400 people to go through. At the end of the day, from the people that I spoke to, everybody went home happy. And there's no greater market or fair than that, that if you can go home, you've made a profit, you've promoted yourself to the locals, and people have come out to help with picking up a local product or local services. And it's good to see these people are getting. You're very lucky. We are opening up wet pubs today. Everything was opening up here, but the COVID back, we had new cases of 800. That is a huge number. And something in 2 deaths, scary. Where Victoria still has a few deaths here going on, and their numbers are around the 15 a day at the moment. So yes, we are lucky. And when I look at the numbers that are coming out of America, we have nothing here to complain about, because the people that are dying in America and the number of people that are being taken down with COVID is huge. And it also looks as if it may be beginning to mutate a little bit as well. Hello, Ben. How are you? Ben, we normally don't have a fire officer, and I'm not sure where these jobs are coming from. I've been getting a few of these applications, and honestly, we're not putting up jobs for fire officers or health officers, honestly. I believe we may have a problem with somebody who is trolling us. I'm not sure. Maya Temple, hello. I'm not sure where you're from, Maya, but I'm glad to have you on board and hope to see you at some point at one of our fairs if you're not from overseas. Now, the next one on our list is Tracy Frederick. Now, Tracy runs the Oracle Room. So if any of you have been to these markets, she is a very good card reader. And the best of it is that she doesn't rely on just one deck of cards. She does a reading and then she reinforces that reading with another deck and then reinforces that with a third deck, sometimes up to 4 decks. The readings that I've had have been very precise and very on the mark. Oh, lovely. I hope you're getting all the markets and that out there now, because you will be opening up very shortly. So I hope you get markets and fairs and all that starting up and get out and about again. We're lucky here that we're now already putting on our markets, and it's proven that people really want to get out and just enjoy a bit of sunshine, a bit of rain, and make sure that they get out, spend some money, and get back to seeing people again. As I was saying, Tracy does. She also does online. What do you call it? Online readings, I guess you would call it. So if you're interested, look up the Oracle Room, and I'm sure that Trace would love to do a route. Oh, I love this time of the night when your tongue stops working. Yeah, I hope so too, Maya. I hope I'm saying that right. It's been such a long time since a lot of people in New South Wales and Victoria have had the opportunity to get out to some of these markets and fairs and actually just get out to a restaurant. That when it happens, I think there's going to be a mad race, and it'll be difficult to get a restaurant booking for a while, as people will be madly chasing up restaurants and getting out and just enjoying a bit of social community, so to speak. So if you're interested in a reading, and if you happen to be coming over here for a holiday or something on the 17th and 18th of October, please drop into 230 Flinders Street in the city and check out the Adelaide Psychic Fair. Now, Gary Feathers is a rather unusual reader in that he doesn't use cards at all. What have we got, Maya? Oh, sorry. I see how that works. Okay, I will try to remember that. May I? I've got a daughter with a rather unusual name too, so she's very particular about how it's said, and I don't blame it. It's her name. So now, if you happen to be over here, catch up with Gary Feathers. He calls himself that. That's not his real name. What he has is a range of different feathers which are tied up into small bundles. I don't know whether you can see, wrong figure, just here on the drum, there is some feathers hanging down. That's the work that Gary does. He has these range of feathers, and when you pick the feathers, he will actually give you a reading based on the feathers that you have chosen. So to me, I find that amazing that somebody has gone down this path. We've had geomancers who work with stones and crystals. I'll mention one shortly, Emma Liggins, who does Egyptian runes. This is not quite the same as the Norse runes, but it's a wonderful reading. It's actually totally different from anything I've had before, and it's in a it's in a small little tent. You went to the fair with your mum. Lovely. Oh, we may have seen you down there at some point, Maya. We've been lucky in the last few months that some of the people that are coming through now are brand new, and they're bringing some absolutely different styles of work and energy healings and the like. So it's good that we have the opportunity to promote them, and it's wonderful. If you happen to know some people over here, Maya, just give them a buzz and say, look, check out the Adelaide Psychic Fair, and we'll let you know what's happening over here. We love to communicate with people around Australia, and we also do broadcasting on another page that if people in Victoria, Queensland, New South Wales are interested in having a chat and bringing some sort of spiritual aspect to the people here, we're more than willing to tune in and have an interview as well. Tonight we're pushing for some, I'll see if I can find one that's pretty well. Okay, we'll try with Victoria, I think it's Gautier or Gautier. She does Wings of Well-Being. Now, this is a new stall. We have not had this before. And to explain what Victoria does is she does healing, psychic card readings, energy clearing and balancing, mediumship, psychic development, coach, angel, miracle teacher, and she does some work at the Ozset Temple Healing. And she's from Man. So we have people coming down from the country areas, and we have people coming through from Noarlunga and out in that area. And they're coming into the city to promote themselves and to promote the work that they will be doing in their own areas. And this is a brilliant way to show people that there is all forms of wellness, spirituality, health, meditation. All of these things are going on in larger quantities now. We are beginning to settle into a sense of self, to be truthful. If we look back at the Spanish flu, just after the Spanish flu finished, there was a huge insurgence of people who had spent time in their own head. They had spent so much time there that a lot of people began to follow spiritual paths. And a lot of the people from that era, they started bringing us into it. Our parents would have been a part of that, and the children of those parents, of course, and we're now in a point where I myself am putting on markets and fairs and doing spiritual aspects like that. And I believe that after COVID, there will be so many people who have had so much time to meditate and get to know themselves that then I believe there will be another spiritual jump, so to speak, for a lot of people that have been cloistered up in their own house for so long. Rockhampton, Queensland, love it. You guys up there must be thrilled with the opening of everything up there. And now that you've got the border to New South Wales opening up, you will be having more guests and visitors. And there's even a chance that you can get some cheap fares down to South Australia because of the school holidays. And the airlines are offering cheap flights all over the place to try and get back into business. It's unbelievable how we're slowly beginning to see signs of people spreading their wings and getting back into the community. But I don't want to digress too far. I'm sure that a lot of these places that are tuning in, and believe me, I love it when the different states tune in. There's quite a few smaller people now who are opening up new courses and new places for people to visit in the way of relaxation, meditation, and spiritual aspects, wellness aspects, even things like reflexology, chiropractic. Even these are beginning to broaden their horizons, so to speak, to Eastern medicines, and such as acupuncture, acupressure, cupping. A lot of these places are beginning to broaden their aspects in that form. And these fairs are opportunities for some of these people to spread their wings. And we've had a couple over the last 12 months at different fairs who have brought their businesses, whether it's orthotics or whether it's physiotherapy. We've had naturalists, we've had people who do capsules and even hemp products. All of these are now beginning to broaden and become more of the norm. So the idea is for more of these fairs, such as the Adelaide Psychic Fair, to become prevalent in all states. Now, I know in Queensland they have a great many people and a great many markets. There's Crystal Cave up there. I'm not sure that's Queensland. It might be the top of New South Wales. But I know up around the top end of Queensland, they have a great many spiritual aspects. They're very heavy into the crystals and the readings and the like. So each of these states is now progressing in a more solid aspect towards enlightenment, I guess you would call it. And even in Victoria, there's the Body Mind Psychic will be on here shortly. And everybody is praying that a lot of the people who would normally be here from Victoria and New South Wales will be coming down, hopefully, to make it a very auspicious market, that one, because that's one of the big ones in Adelaide, and we would love to see the people from interstate come across, because they bring in a new range of products that we sometimes don't think about. And also there's a great many hemp products and hemp clothing and the like that is coming through at the moment, as well as some very new recycled items. So excuse me a moment while I just check the phone, because sometimes if somebody's on the other channel, it seems that we haven't any messages at the moment, so that's good. Thank you all for joining this evening, and I hope that if you have the chance, you can tune into Wings of Wellbeing. I'm sure that Victoria would love to see some people from interstate checking out her site. Also, Tracy Fredericks, who does the Oracle Room. If you would like to have a reading or something online, I know that she does do some form. I think that may be through Zoom or such, but it's fine that actually what I might do is I'll just put the Wings of Wellbeing link in there, see if we can put that in for people who might be interested. If you are watching this in replay, then you can still go to these aspects, and we'll also see if we can get the Oracle Room. Excuse me while I type madly in order to get these links. Now, I'm aware that you're probably interstate, but it really doesn't hurt to broaden the aspect and check some of these people out. It's interesting. Here we go. And I might see if I can put the other one up as well. Boom, boom, boom. There are just so many at the moment that it's unbelievable. If you can follow this, or if you know somebody that's here, just give them a call, tell them to look, check it out so that you can. Oh, that didn't work too well. Let's try that again. Here we go. Okay, sound that. I'm sure that these people, if they were to see your links to these pages, then they would know that you were tuning into the recordings and the Adelaide Psychic Fair broadcasts. The idea is to try and convince these people that they should come on and let people see them, so that we have a better opportunity to broaden our horizons to the public, but also so that the public has the opportunity to see who they are dealing with. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, I mean, Tracy does a lot of her own broadcasting, so we have difficulty getting her. I do my own broadcasting, so this is generally during the week. But some of these people have been on the show before. And if you check out the My TV Live World Spirit, you may find some of these is available and some of these broadcasts available. We normally only do about a half an hour, and I mentioned the two people that I really wanted to mention this week, which is Victoria Gauthier and Emma Liggins, who does the Egyptian readings. So I'll just run over the area and where you can catch up with us. If you're interested in doing a market or a fair with us, please email roy@moonandmask.com.au. I'm more than willing to catch up with anybody that wants to do that. If you want to find out where the market is, or you want to tell people where it is, and you're watching this in replay, we will be at 230 Flinders Street, Adelaide, on October the 17th and 18th. We go from 10 o'clock. No, it doesn't want to work. We go from 10 o'clock until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you want to check out the page, www.facebook.com/Adelaide Psychic Fair. And there is another / if you want to see the events and the like. Once again, it's been very good talking to you. I hope you have a brilliant week and a brilliant weekend. And please catch up with us next week, where we will look at a couple more of these people and see what they are bringing as well. Oh. Thank you, Nolene, for joining us. It was wonderful. And also, Ben, I'm sorry we couldn't help you there, Ben. Maya, thank you for joining us. And Sam, it was good of you to drop in from Rockhampton. I'm happy that you did, and I hope that you will pass on the word that we're on each week. And we will have other shows along the way. So there'll probably be some more coming up in the near future. Namaste to you all. I greet you and I leave you with that. Excuse me, not COVID, just a cough. And hopefully we will catch up with you next Wednesday evening at about 8 o'clock. And we will talk about some of the other people. But if between now and then you would like to send an email just to let me know if there was something that you would like to see covered, we're more than willing to have a listen, see what you want, and we can put that up and about if we have the opportunity. Whoop, what do we got here? Hornswoggleholium. May I temple inbox me for your free spiritual reading consultation now? Well, that's nice. I'm not sure that it's a that's not something I would have expected, but I guess it must be the most I would say about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's either somebody who is very good at what they do, or I just say be cautious. I am not familiar with this person, and so I cannot offer you any information on whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. But it's always good that there's somebody out there wanting a free spiritual reading. But remember, anything that you get for free is worth what you paid for it. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a brilliant evening. I hope to catch up with you next week. And please get in touch if you are interested in the psychic fairs. I leave you with our advert, and we will catch up with you next week. Namaste. Pleasure, and breathe deep and be mindful of those around you.